Welcome to another episode of Investment Chat in the Rolls Royce, and today I have an amazing entrepreneur. I just so love his creativity. Oftentimes when we're together, we probably plan 15 minutes meeting and then have to chase each other out after 1 hour. Amazing man. His name is Tim Olatoke, founder of OJAMEA, co-founder of All African Festival here in UAE. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you again.
How is your wife is somewhere here, but we can't show her.
Yeah.
So how did you start your entrepreneurial journey?
Quite frankly, it was a result of the experiences I was having around me. Having moved into the UAE some years back, and I saw there were a lot of challenges around getting African items and all of that. So coming from a technological background, I immediately sprang into action and started looking at small and medium-sized businesses that are focused on that target market audience. And I tried reaching out to them saying, oh, we could do something, but no one was interested in going into the technical, fielding most of this online. So I went to the next layer down, which were the vendors and some distributors, moms and pop shop, to say, hey guys, why don't you look into doing this? But quite realistically, when we started looking at the budgets and how much money that they had to spend versus the inventory they had, it became very clear that they couldn't take it to the next level to get to what they needed. So what I did was I said to myself, okay, if we have a collection of all this, why don't we have a marketplace where they can field most of their products? So it took me about 2 years of research trying to find out the target audience, whether the market was ready for it, and if there were enough suppliers out there, and if there was a demand in the market for it. So I did quite a number of things, did quite a number of research, and after that I had a clear blueprint of what I wanted to roll out. And shortly after we fully registered the company as its own private entity here in Dubai, and got finally everything to be working the way we wanted it to work, COVID hit.
Wow.
Month 2.
Wow.
So we had to redesign everything again from scratch.
Wow. So OJAMEA, the name OJAMEA, what does it mean?
Okay, so Oja is a Yoruba word, which means market. Middle East and Asia, because that was our plan, and those are target focus area.
That's cool. Oja, Middle East and Asia. Cool. Nice. So a little bit from your background, your culture, and then mixture of Middle East and Asia. So post-COVID, how's it been?
It's been a mixed bag. It's been blessings and challenges, I would like to call it. So right in the middle of COVID, as soon as COVID did hit, we had a lot of interest and a lot of new customers that was onboarded almost immediately as a result of the lockdown. However, like 2 months into the lockdown, we started running out of supplies.
Oh, okay.
Because there was so much huge demand for the products because everyone was staying at home.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, all the ports in Africa was closed, and the ports here too was closed.
Yes.
So it was a real challenge trying to get products across. And at some point, air cargo too was closed, and it was just impossible. So we had a beautiful website, we had the mobile app, but we didn't have the products. Which was very frustrating because a lot of people kept calling, I want this, I want that. But we always just had to apologize. Sorry, we don't have stock.
100 million naira. That's it. Oh yes. I just got the alert. Congratulations on becoming a landlord. It's nice doing business with you.
Daddy?
Yes, darling?
How do you make so much money? You're always calling millions on the phone.
I make sacrifices.
Sacrifice? What type of sacrifice?
When you give up something of value for the sake and consideration of other things, that's a sacrifice. I invested in real estate when the opportunity came, even when it was not convenient. And that's a success story we're reaping today.
Wow. Awesome.
You don't wait to buy real estate. You buy and wait.
Take advantage of this amazing opportunity today.
GTEX Homes.
We help you build your future.
GTEX Home is a brand with vision of having the largest green and smart estate with innovation and technology. The vision has given birth to Jasper Gardenia along the coastline of Ibejuleki, Lagos. The first green and smart affordable estate. Now, Jasper Estate is just 10 minutes away from Dangote Refinery and is just opposite the Lekki Golf Course. And guess what? The title is Gizet. Now, you can get a property here because here, my friend, is the future.
GTEX Homes. We don't just sell properties.
We help you build your future.
So how has it been now? Are you still not having stock or you're back?
I would like to say we're back. However, particularly with products from the African continent, we always face challenges with the supply chain as a result of standardization. So I have been forced to be working very closely with a lot of manufacturers or distributors, trying to make sure that we get a more efficient supply chain and predictive analysis, because for us to be able to predict, we need some data, and we cannot rely on the data we covered in 2020 because of COVID, because that was an abstract data, and all of that happened because of all the challenges that was there at the market. So currently we are learning as we go. Let me put it that way.
I can imagine. But for you, what will you say, because obviously you had some career background before you started as an entrepreneur, will you say it's important for every entrepreneur, most entrepreneurs, to first try corporate before entrepreneurship, based on how business has turned out now?
Absolutely. If any future entrepreneur is looking to start something, it's always good to go around and see what's been done already out there, to have some level of exposure, to understand what needs to be done and why it's being done, which is the most important thing. Some people have been fortunate enough to start off their career without any form of corporate background. But for me, I started off with back in the day as a MCSE networking engineer, and then I gradually progressed into Cisco, where I did my CCI in voice and IP telephony, and then I moved into the telecoms world, and all through this, I will call it life-changing experiences, I did develop a lot of skill sets, which is asking the questions, why are we doing what we're doing, and why do we need to do what we're doing, and how we're going to take it to the next level. So that obviously has really helped me in defining my career and defining my entrepreneurship. So prior to being a full-time entrepreneur, I had a lot of support in the corporate world. When designing new products or applications coming to market, and there was a lot of support from the organization itself, with all the different outsourced companies that are either into media or into all sorts of things. But while I started off on my own journey, I realized that there are so many facets to being an entrepreneur. And it's not just the technical part.
A lot of times, as a professional, you don't know what you don't know. I agree.
And one thing I've come to realize over the years is, no matter how good a product is or how good an application is, if there is no proper branding and marketing and informing the people, a lot of people would not want to try it.
Very true.
So that's, for me, is one of the...
branding and marketing require a lot of money.
A lot of money. It's constant. It never stops. Because one of my mentors told me, Tim, if Coca-Cola can still be advertising
Yes,
till
absolutely.
till this very day
Absolutely.
with all their billions,
Yes.
then you should never stop advertising.
Never stop.
G-Text Homes,
A subsidiary of GTEX Global, brought to you by Stephen Akintayo.
and is bringing you
Jasper Estate. It is located along the urban area of Ibeju, Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria.
This is just luxury at the tip of your fingers with just 12 minutes drive from the Lakapine Tropicana.
It's 15 minutes from Dangote Refinery.
And it's 5 minutes to Lekki Town.
2 minutes from Stone Beach Resort.
It is just adjacent to the Dangote Jetty.
And if you're one that like to travel down memory lane and be in tune with the relics, Awolowo Museum is 5 minutes away. It is barely 11 minutes from Lekki Deep Sea Port.
Pick up that phone, dial that number, send that WhatsApp message to the number on your screen and secure your slot today.
Also available in Abuja.
GTEX Homes. We don't just sell properties.
We help you build your future.
My name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm known as Africa's most sought-after investment coach. I started 13 years ago as an entrepreneur and knowing nothing but having the guts and of course wanting to be wealthy, as I was born from a poor family. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had crumbled before I was born, but I knew that we could be wealthy. But something changed my life. At the age of 17, I started reading a book on money. And I got to know that I can be wealthy. It's possible. I started the first wealth university. By the time you're done with it, you can literally start your own business or be able to learn how to invest in a business and make money for yourself. I'd like you to sign up today in www.stephenakitayouniversity.com. So guys, again, we're here, of course, investment chat in Rolls Royce with Tim, a top entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, of course, and creative genius here in the UAE and doing great stuff. The whole African community is really excited about him and his wife, what they do. Tell us a bit about the All African Festival. It's a big thing that as you've brought everybody together and people just love it. I was at this year for the first time and I love it. So tell us about the vision, how it started and what was the mission behind it.
So for the All Africa Festival, it initially started with a group of us that felt that we needed to do something about our community.
Okay.
And having done a few strategy sessions and going through everything that we were looking at, we decided that the best way to be able to introduce Africa to Africans and also Africa to lovers of Africa within the region was to educate them by bringing them onto a festival where they see the multiple facets and diversity of Africa within the region. And we try to make it as inclusive as possible.
Wow.
And tell an holistic story of not just Africa the map, but Africa of our people, looking at people that have migrated out of Africa into the Caribbean, into South America, into North America, and tell an holistic story that people would be interested and to showcase the best of African products. The general consensus is this: it's not good to generalize, but generally people think Africa is cheap, as is portrayed sometimes on the media, and Africa is poor. However, there are loads of very interesting and premium quality culture and lifestyle and food from within the African continent. So we sat together and said, okay, how can we promote Africa in all its culture and essence and make it accessible not just to Africans but also to lovers of Africa and people that don't even love Africa but they are still mystified about it. So we give them an opportunity for them to interact with the people, interact with the missions, the governments, the embassies, and the businesses that focuses on bringing the best to light. So that's what we've been doing.
Wow. So what do you see about All African Festival in the next 10, 20 years?
So particularly the All Africa Festival has taken a life of its own now. It's an organization of which I am one of the founding partners. I, in the sense, as representing OJAMEA.com. And one of the things we set out to do for our 5-year plan was to look at creating a platform that would be able to promote Africa in all its essence and flavors, show a wide variety of Africans thriving and living here in the UAE and surroundings. And one of the many criteria, success criteria that we did set, that in 5 years' time, we're looking at having the All Africa Festival having its own bank holiday declared by the government to celebrate Africa and all its people here.
Wow, that would be great. That would be a wonderful achievement, really. I mean, let's. I mean, you guys are close with Emma partnership. I think you're close to it.
Well, yeah, we're close,
because Emma is semi-government, so kind of.
Absolutely, and as we go through this journey, we are beginning to unlearn a lot of things and relearn and re-educate even some of our partners on what we are looking to achieve. And we are not a profit-driven company, but rather we want to enrich the people and the community on how rich Africa really is.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why if you look at our events over the years, we don't really charge the entry like a ticket fee. It's like a pack fee that is being charged. We don't focus on a certain demographics. We try to make sure that we cut across north, south, east, west of Africa and Central Africa. We make very, very clear decisions on what we are doing with regards to either having an alcohol event and all of that, because we want to make it family friendly.
So kids can come.
Kids can come, their parents, the kids in the buggies, the teenagers, and it will be a celebration of the community as a whole, not people over 21 or all sorts of things. So we try to make it an all-inclusive event.
Beautiful. So tell me about your investment philosophy when it comes to investment.
Investment for me, it's all about how much knowledge. I believe before anyone goes out there to start acquiring assets, because assets you can lose overnight. Either you lose it directly from your own mistake, or the market loses it for you when the prices fall.
Yeah, true.
For me, the first asset I believe that should be on everyone's mind is what you put in your brain.
Whoa.
Because wherever you
mental
go,
asset is number one.
Wherever you go, wherever you find yourself, you'll find yourself that you can always retool and go back out there.
Wow.
If you are mentally capable of understanding very quickly and assimilating what you're being taught, and also looking at where you can transfer those skills and knowledge to. I think I will give that to my dad, because it did really put me through a lot of mental drilling for me to be able to look outside the concept of what I'm being taught, but where I can actually apply it. So I think the first thing for any individual that wants to be, either you want to be working corporately or you want to go into entrepreneurship, the first thing is invest in yourself first. Invest in the level of knowledge that you're comfortable with, and never stay stagnant, because for every year there's a new thing coming out, and you have to keep recertifying yourself. And even if you don't do the certification, but have some form of access into how to get the knowledge and how to do your research and get the facts and not just the myth.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So for me, I wanted to say, what do you have, like quotable quotes or investment tips?
I usually have one that I use in most of the books or things I write or presentations, which is when you stop dreaming, you stop living.
When you stop dreaming, you stop living.
And without a vision, you're going nowhere.
Without a vision, you're going nowhere. One more. Your wife can help.
Ego.
Yeah. Ego is the greatest enemy within.
Ego is the greatest enemy within. Can you explain that?
A lot of people don't even realize it. There are certain things that we do, and we do it subconsciously or consciously. Sometimes there might be an opportunity down the road, but when we let our ego or our feelings get in the way, saying, no, I can't do that. Why should I be doing that? I'm bigger than that. You then lose the opportunity that might be lying ahead. Because you've let your own ego
stay in the way.
To stay in the way.
What's your greatest investment that has brought you the biggest return on investment?
Greatest investment. I have a lot. I have a lot of investments I've done. But I think the first one, I would say, my greatest investment was, I think I was probably about 16 or 17.
Okay.
Prior to that, I had already been curating in my head what I was looking at as my future life, that in the next 10 years, next 20 years, what I wanted to do. I was still very young, still in university, and I met someone who actually ticked most of the boxes I was looking for.
At 17?
Yeah. And immediately...
Teenage love.
No, not necessarily, because I had this checklist. I always used to, I had loads of cousins, uncles, brothers, ahead of me.
Yeah.
So I'd been, from the age of 9, I'd been curating what I was looking at my family life and what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So at about 16, 17, I was in university, and as a young man, I was going everywhere, having parties, enjoying myself. And then I started having some intellectual conversations with a friend, and I realized that, hold on.
This is it.
Yeah. So I said to her, you know what? I would like to marry you. I don't want to date you. I just want to marry. If you're not interested, forget it. But I just went straight for it.
Wow. At 17.
Because all the dots I wanted was ticked, and I asked myself, what else did I want?
And this woman is your wife today.
Yep.
Mother of your kids.
Yep.
Wow, thank you for inviting me to Kiza.
You're welcome, my brother, man. Always a pleasure to have you around.
Yes.
Sambonani Senma Mugela, which means welcome to Kiza. My name is Lebo, and I'm from South Africa.
Sambonani.
Yebo.
Thank you. Will you say this is the most luxurious African restaurant in Dubai?
I think it is the only one in Dubai.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that smell, it has touched my senses. I'm in love. I'm in love. I think this is the part where you play that music. When a man loves a woman. So has the love between yourself and your wife, which I'm sure is probably almost 2 decades or more now, been one of the secrets to your success in entrepreneurship?
Absolutely, I would say yes, because in order for one to be successful in life, first you have to define what criteria for success is. And for me, any day, anytime, I would choose family over the success of the business itself.
Wow.
Because you can have a successful business and be very miserable at home. So for me, I look at first things first. What am I ready to trade off? How much time am I ready to trade off? Defined.
Yeah.
You then know the parameters of the field in which you're playing in, and you try and keep it in that in that sphere or in that space. Many a times I've had opportunities where I could have done something totally different or totally, amazing. But when I compare it with
the impact on the
family, then I make adjustments to whatever I can deliver or not deliver, and stay within the remit which I would like to classify as success.
My last question is, as a Nigerian, I mean, you're a Nigerian family, how have you been able to overcome the stigma usually associated with, oh, they're from Nigeria, or we can't do business with them?
Generally, what I go with with regards to that particular question is everyone has some form of biasness. It's my job to educate people or re-educate them on certain things. So I have in many cases where people have tried not to or tried to shy away or been direct with me to say, hey, we're not going to do business with you. What I try to make them understand is you cannot generalize everyone because you've not met everyone. And the word integrity and transparency is the word I would like to use to show and outline what I am trying to achieve with whichever company or business or individual, to say, hey, look at my record, look at what I am doing, and look at what I am still going to do. So if you still feel that this is not up to the criteria of what you need, then feel free to say it. But I make it very clear to them that there are different levels of professionalism.
Yeah.
And there are different ways in which people go about doing their business. And from their track record of what they've been able to achieve or deliver, even if some of those things weren't successful or partly successful, you can see there very clearly what was set out to be achieved and how they have been able to, the outcome of whatever they've been able to achieve. So I rather show and lead by example of things that we've achieved in the past, as opposed to trying to, make a point.
Let your result terminate the insult. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And at that point, we wrap up another episode of Investment Chat in the Rolls Royce with Team Olatoke. And as our custom is, we have a token. I think, even though I think you already have a copy of it, which is the Billionaire Habits.
Okay.
I don't know whether you started reading it. But if you have a copy, then this is for Nina.
Okay. I'll definitely give it to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, on the show. We appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. So guys, don't forget next week. Don't miss another episode of Investment Chat in the Rolls Royce with another wonderful guest. Love you all and bye-bye.